Hi, PS20. Your students had a kale cook lab this week with Wellness in the Schools. As they learned, kale contains many vitamins and minerals. Vitamins K, A, C. They help your bones, your immune system, your eyes. It also contains calcium for your bones, iron, phosphorus, many things that our bodies need. Kale is also packed with fiber. It helps keep you full, helps with your digestion, and it can even help lower cholesterol as well. It contains antioxidants too, which help prevent diseases like cancer. So, all around, it's a fantastic thing for you to incorporate into your diet. Your students made a kale salad with ginger dressing that sounds absolutely delicious. But kale doesn't just have to be for lunch and dinner. You can eat kale for breakfast too, which is a great way to avoid sugar at breakfast. One of my favorite ways to eat eggs in the morning is actually with a side salad, and making a kale salad for breakfast alongside some eggs would be delicious. In the cook lab, they learned how to process the kale. They learned to remove the stems in the middle and then chiffonade the kale. So you stack the leaves on top of each other lengthwise and then roll them before slicing them really thin, which makes nice ribbons of kale that are more manageable to eat. And you can ask your student to show you what they learned to get them involved in the kitchen. Use any dressing you like, as long as it doesn't contain added sugar. Olive oil with lemon juice, sea salt, and black pepper is a great option for salad dressing. Regardless of what you make, be sure to use olive oil and massage it into the leaves with your hands. Olive oil is a great fat that helps your body receive the kale's nutrients. So it's always important to have olive oil in your salad dressing on all types of greens. And kale can be tough in texture sometimes, depending on the age of the leaves of the kale plant. So chiffonading the greens and then massaging them helps to make the leaves tender, and it also allows you to coat each leaf with dressing. Another great way to get your kids involved in the kitchen too is to have them wash their hands and then massage the leaves of the kale with the dressing. Another option is, if you prefer cooked kale, you can cook the kale ahead and keep it in the fridge for a number of days to have with your eggs. Last week we talked about prep ahead tricks, and this is one of them. That way, when you're cooking your eggs, you can just add a scoop of kale to the pan along with some olive oil to heat up the kale in the amount of time that it takes your eggs to cook. So to cook the kale ahead of time, you heat olive oil over medium heat, and you want it in a pan with some height. Kale starts out when you have lots of the chopped leaves in a pretty big volume, and it shrinks down, but you want a pan with some height so that it'll all fit in there. And obviously don't be surprised when you cook a huge pile of kale down and it shrinks down to almost nothing. So start with a fair amount. And then process your leaves just like you would for salad, chiffonading them, or you can cut them just into pieces, whatever you prefer, and add them to the pot with some water. You can start with about half of a cup and turn the heat down to medium-low and let the kale cook for a while until it's wilted and tender. It really varies on the maturity of your kale. Tougher leaves will take longer than smaller baby leaves. So keep an eye on it, watch it from time to time, but it might take half an hour if you have some tougher leaves to cook down. Just let it cook low and slow. If you want to speed up the cooking, you can cover the pot with a lid to help the kale steam a little bit more, but then uncover to toss so that the leaves on top get down to the bottom of the pan and have a better chance to be closer to the heat. Add more water as you need so that the bottom of the pan doesn't brown and the leaves continue to steam a little bit. And then when they're done cooking, you can just add a splash more olive oil, some sea salt, and black pepper. If you like spice, you could throw some red pepper flakes in there too as well. I enjoy that. And then keep them in the fridge in an airtight container until you need them with your eggs. They're great with sriracha too. Another idea for kale in the morning is smoothies. You can keep kale in the freezer, another prep ahead trick we talked about. If you feel like a sweet, no sugary breakfast, you can chop it and freeze it yourself or buy bags of frozen kale at your local grocery store. It'll turn your smoothie green, but you won't be able to taste it with all of the other ingredients. Banana is always a staple in my smoothies because it adds some thickness and it is a great way to get sweetness with no added sugar. Perhaps you and your kids enjoy a smoothie with almond milk or regular milk, some banana and peanut butter. Great to have peanut butter in there for added protein, or maybe you like a smoothie with berries. It's also great to add when you have a chocolatey smoothie with some unsweetened cocoa powder too. Um, so kale in smoothies is a fantastic way to get it into your diet if you like a sweet, no sugary breakfast in the morning. One other idea is there's actually a recipe on the PS20 food stand website for a savory oatmeal with kale and mushrooms also. So be sure to check that out. If you have any questions, please direct message me on the app at AnnFood, or you can send an email to team@thefoodstand.com. I hope you have a great weekend.